Story time! Hello, cuties! Today we are going to listen to the story of David and Goliath. This is a story from the Bible. Once there was a shepherd boy somewhere in Israel. He was alone in his hut, and there was none to assist him in his livelihood. His only way of life was to take some goats to the pastures and graze them till evening. In this way, he led a very poor life. His name was David. Even though David was a poor boy, he was very intelligent and strong. One day, the enemies of Israel attacked it. There was a giant man named Goliath with the enemies. He was so potent that Shaul, the king of Israel, could not defeat him. Because the giant man killed most of his men and gave victory to the enemy king, in all the way possible, Shaul's men fought with Goliath. But all attempts were in vain. One day, in the morning, David went to the king's court. He said to the king, "Your Majesty, I am sufficient enough to defeat Goliath, the giant warrior." Hearing this statement, all the members of the king's assembly thought that it was a joke, and they smiled at David. But in determination, he said very sternly, "I am not joking for you to laugh. I am so serious on my way. If I am allowed, I can exterminate that Goliath from the world." Everyone was surprised to hear the subtle words of a little boy. They thought of it as the fickleness of a boy. They said, "Dear boy, this is not a game. Goliath is vehemently a potent person. When we compare you with his prodigious size, you are nothing more than a rat before a lion. We are afraid you are not serious, aren't you?" "No, I am serious," the boy said. The men in the assembly again said to deviate him from his unexceptional thought, "If you want to attend a battle, there are some other invulnerable ways. This is a little too much." The boy stood unchangeable in his decision. And at last, the king was forced to send the boy to the war front. The king offered weapons, but the boy rejected all. The battle was taking place in a valley. David, the shepherd boy, reached there. At that time, Goliath was fighting with many men alone. David saw him and called, "Goliath, if you are brave enough, come to me and fight with me." The sound was so high that Goliath heard those words, and he laughed at the boy in disgust. The boy again challenged Goliath, but he tried to refrain the boy from his decision, but all went astray. Goliath came forward to fight with. David took a catapult from his back, which had been kept there hidden. He fixed a small round stone to it. Aiming Goliath's forehead, he let loose the stone go. It hit at the center of Goliath's forehead, and he fell down in a disarray. David ran to him and snatched away his sword and cut his throat off. All his companions saw this, and thinking that the boy had some superhuman power, fled away from the battlefield. David was very much hailed by the people, and after the death of Shaul, he became the king of Israel. Hope you liked this story. For more such lovely stories, please do subscribe to my channel. Now let's move on to the word of the day. Today's word of the day is vehemently. Do you remember where I used this word in the story? Yes, I used this to describe Goliath. Vehemently means that in a forceful or strong way. I hope you have learned this word. If you have liked this video, please do share this with your friends and subscribe to this channel for more such beautiful stories. See you in the next video. Bye cuties!